Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is me finally making an Efultimatebreak review. If you follow me on any social media, you know that I do not shut up about Efultimatebreak because I love it so much. But I figured I'd make this video to answer a couple common questions I get about Efultimatebreak, especially right now because they're having a sale. Their Black Friday sale, which is probably the best sale that they have all year, is going on until the 26th of this month, I believe. More info on that coming later on in the video. So let's start with the biggest question. What is Efultimatebreak? Efultimatebreak is a group travel company for people that are 18 to 29. Young adults, right? Adults finally getting into the real world, probably figuring out what their life is. They have more than 65 trips to choose from, and they range from like 6 days to 57 days. Also, if I'm looking down a lot, it's because I have all my notes written. I wanted to be prepared. Yeah, they range between like 6 days to 57 days, all around the world. So many things to choose from, and you can go solo, you can go with friends. So many ways to customize your trip. You can extend them, you can add trips together. So many things. It's a great way to meet like-minded people in your age group, which is what I loved. And the biggest question I get is it a scam? I heard it's a scam. No, it is not a scam. I'm here to tell you that it is not a scam. The reason I see that people use to say that it is a scam is that they didn't get their money back when they canceled a trip. Well, let me tell you, if you cancel a trip, you are going to inquire cancellation fees. And you sign a contract, basically you have like the terms and conditions when you book that state all of this, and it states how much you will be paying depending on how far your trip is. So like those people, they just didn't read terms and conditions. Like, come on y'all. I know we don't like to read the fine print, but sometimes it's important, especially if it's like a big purchase like this. Read the terms and conditions. Anyway, not a scam, I'm telling you right now. So the next big question I get a lot, which is a very important one, is what is included in the price? So if you go onto the website, which I will link down below, you'll see a price. And that price will vary depending on where you're flying out of, the trip you're choosing, and the dates. I know when you see that price for the first time, you're gonna be a little intimidated. You might be a little in shock. You might be like, whoa, hold up. Why? Let me tell you. So that price includes your round trip flights to and from your trip. And within your trip, you will also have like transportation. Like, I don't know how to explain this correctly. So let's use my trip, for example. I went to London, Paris, Rome. So between those cities, there was transportation, whether it was a flight, whether it was a train ride, like that was all included as well. Also, while you're on your trip, you will have a bus, those nice fancy buses with the AC and all that stuff, just for your little tour group and your tour director to take you to all the excursions and whatnot that you do on tour. So that's pretty cool. Also, what is included is your tour director and local guides. Let me tell you guys, my tour director was the greatest human being that I have ever met in my entire life. He was so great. His name was Andreas, and he was amazing. I love that man. He made the trip so fun for all of us, and he was always there if we needed him. And he had recommendations for us to do and all that fun stuff. So like your tour director is there to help you, and they're just amazing. They're not there to limit like your fun. They're there to encourage you and lead you in the right direction. And local guides. So sometimes when you're doing like walking tours through a city, you'll have someone that's local to that area that will explain stuff to you and just walk you through the history and whatnot. And I think that's super cool. And I really like that aspect. Well, I'm talking really fast and I'm out of breath. Hold on. What else is included? The accommodations. So this will vary depending on your trip. So there is two types of trips you can choose: Ultimate Plus and like the standard trip. Your standard trip will be a mix of hotels and like hostels, which means that you can have anywhere from one other roommate to like 5 other girls or boys or whatever your gender is. It'll depend. So let me tell you guys about my experience. In London, we were in a hotel and I had one roommate, which was great. When we went to Paris, we were in a hostel and it was nice. Like, nothing bad to say about it. It was great. But there were 5 of us to a room, and it's not that big a space, right? So it can be a lot. But you can always upgrade, of course, depending on how bougie you want to be or like how much you value your personal space. Do you, boo? There's like so many options. And then there's also Ultimate Plus, which all the rest of my trips that I've booked are Ultimate Plus, so I'm very excited. It means that you stay in 3 to 4 star hotels and you have one roommate for the entire trip. It's great. It's great. You do get some meals. On the normal trips, on the standard trips, you get all your breakfast, a welcome dinner, and a farewell dinner. If you choose the Ultimate Plus route, you get all that plus the occasional other meals like dinners and stuff, but it'll depend on the trip, of course. You get metro passes within the cities. I know we got one in every single city that we went to. And you get the entrances to the attractions that your itinerary includes. As well as the optional excursions will also, if you choose to include them into your trip, those will be paid for as well. And you also get 24/7 trip support. So they give you a number that you can use to reach a helpline if you need it at any time during your trip. I never used mine because I had my tour guide's number, so we would always text him if we had any concern or whatnot, but that's there. That is what's included in your trip. I hope it all made sense because sometimes I can ramble. Third question. So you might be thinking, all right, Jackie, that's great. This price includes so much, but how am I supposed to pay for that? There are options. Of course, you can pay it all in full if you're ballin' and can do that. Gotta like that. I do not, so they have other options. You can pay with Affirm, which I have never done because I just don't use Affirm, but I know people that do and they love it. They just use that to book their trips and it works for them, so power to them. Another option, which is the one that I use, is to pay with automatic payments. So the way this works is you put $21 down. I was definitely wrong. It is $150 down, not $21. The $21 was from a promotion that they were running prior to the Black Friday sale, but it is $150. Back to the video. And then from there, they break it down into automatic payments that they'll take either bi-weekly or monthly, depending on what you choose. And then you have to finish paying with 30 days prior to your trip. There we go. So for example, my trip to Greece, because, okay, I can't use my past trip as an example because I booked it super last minute and had to like pay it all at once, and I used a credit card, and probably not the best decision, but I do not regret it at all. Back to Greece. So I booked this way in advance. I put my money down and it broke it down into monthly payments. So I chose monthly, and I know that I get paid the 7th and the 22nd. So I chose to make my payments on the 22nd. So it'll be automatically taken on the 22nd. That way I don't have to worry about not having money in my account because I know I get paid those days. Since I have 4 trips, I like split them. I have 2 trips that get charged on the 7th and 2 trips that get charged on the 22nd, just so that I know that they're always getting paid and I don't have to worry about that. Another option is to pay at your own pace. So I haven't used this option, but it is there. People use it and like it. So this option requires you to pay $500 down, and the rest would be at your own pace. So you choose when to pay it, but you have to pay it up 99 days prior to your departure. So that's the only catch with that one. There's a lot of options. Like, you find what works for you, and yeah. Another question that I get a lot is free time versus planned time. People always wonder, okay, but do you always have to do what they tell you to do? Like, do you have enough time to do what you want to do? And the answer is yes. I feel like there's a perfect mix between planned and free time because I hate planning. So if I didn't have this itinerary laid out for me, I don't know what I would do because I can't plan by myself. Nope. When booking the trip, you can see the itinerary, which is like a breakdown of what you would do each day. And on the itinerary, you'll see like plus free day or like free day and blah, blah, blah. That is time for you to plan whatever you want to do. Go see the things that you want to see that aren't included in the itinerary. And yeah, I know for my past trip, London, Paris, Rome, thinking back, I feel like we had at least 1 full day in each city. So I feel like that was more than enough time. We also had like every night was free time. Our group would get together. We booked like a pub crawl in Rome, or we went to Bolly Ballerson in London. We spent New Year's Eve in Paris, so we booked a table at a rooftop club, which was fun. It just depends on what your group wants to do or what you want to do on your own. But yeah, I feel like there is enough free time built in. Also, if you don't want to do things that are on the itinerary, you can always opt out and just do your own thing. You just tell your tour director so they aren't like looking for you. So with that being said, you might be wondering, how do I connect to my group before the trip? So around 30 days before your trip, you'll be put into a Facebook group, and that's where you'll meet your tour guide and the other people that will be in your group. And From there, you introduce yourselves, add each other on Instagram, make different group chats. Like I know for our group, the girls made a group me because we wanted a place to talk about our outfits and the packing and their dresses. And so, yeah, we made a group chat, and that's where we made a lot of our plans. We make plans in there and then put it in the big Facebook group and invite everyone. So it was super cool that we already had plans like going into it as a group. And I feel like that really helped create bonds before we even left. So it was awesome. I would definitely recommend being active in that Facebook group once it's created. It'll make the transition into the trip so much easier because you already kind of know these people. Another thing is traveling solo versus traveling with friends. So I have only traveled solo so far, but I do have a trip booked with 2 of my best friends to Spain in September, so I'm very excited about that. Traveling solo was great though. I would definitely recommend it if you want to do that, or if you don't have friends that are interested in it, just do it. Just go, book the trip. You will make friends. There will be people that are doing things that you're interested in. If they're not, do it yourself. Go off by yourself and do it. Yeah, I feel like I grew a lot as a person, as dramatic as that sounds. Traveling solo, it was just a really life-changing experience for sure. Next, I want to talk about budgeting. Yes, you paid for your trip. Perfect. Yes, things are included. Awesome. But you will have to budget for some spending that you will do there. Of course, not all meals are included, so you will have to buy some meals. Spending money, which that was the hardest part for me, definitely. Any sightseeing you want to do by yourself, any attractions you want to go to by yourself that aren't included in the itinerary or optional excursions, that'll come out of pocket. So EF recommends that you budget around $100 per day. I am extra, so I can tell you that I did spend a lot more than $100 per day, but that is also because I bought myself like a designer purse because, you know, they're made in Europe, so why not? I did a lot of eating. I just did not think. I just impulse buy everything. That's just my weakness. So I definitely went over my budget, but if you're going and you just want to spend on food, like I do not think you'll get to the $100 per day, but of course it depends on you and where you eat. It's always better to budget more than you'll need, just so you're not struggling with money when you're there, but just depends on you, really. So Jackie, I booked my trip, but now I can't make it. How do I change it? You can contact a trip consultant and switch it, but it has to be 60 days prior to your departure. You can switch to different dates or like switch itineraries or whatever. You just have to talk to a travel consultant and like figure that out. But I'm telling you now, so you don't think it's a scam. If you want to cancel a trip completely, there will be fees. You can look them up. It depends on how far away your trip is, but there will be fees. So just be aware of that when you're choosing a trip. It's better to move it, to change it, rather than canceling, because you will be charged some fees. So Jackie, I booked my trip and I'm super excited, but I need more information about the countries I'm going to, or like what to pack and all that stuff. So what do? Let me tell you. So on Efultimatebreak's website, you'll get like a portal once you book. That's where you'll see your trip information. And from there, you can see your payment information, which will include how much you've paid, how much you have left, when your next payment will be coming out. You can change your payment method on there and all that fun stuff. You can also see your flight information like 30 days prior to your trip. You can see your tour director, also kind of 30 days before your trip, your accommodations. There's also checklists that you can go through so that you can make sure that you have everything prepared before you go, which is like your passport, any visa requirements that you may need to meet before you go, any vaccination stuff, of course, is on there. There's also checklists about packing. There's know before you go stuff, so tips and tricks about the countries you're going to and information that's like useful for you to go. That portal is kind of my best friend. I feel like I check it once every day, even though I've already read everything. I don't know why I keep logging in, but it just gets me so excited to see my trips there. So if you're ready to book your trip, make sure to take advantage of the Black Friday sales that I mentioned earlier. Of course, if you're watching this video, but in November before the 26th. But if you're not, of course, go check out the link in my bio. And no matter when you book, you can use my code UAJacqueline100 to get $100 off your first trip with Efultimatebreak. I cannot stress this enough. This company has changed my life. Travel is now my main priority, and yes, I'm getting my degree. Yes, I want to advance in my career, but I want to see the world and I want to do it without having to wait for anyone else, but without having to depend on anyone else. Like, I am doing this for me, and this company gives me a way to do that. It makes it affordable for me. It's a way for me to plan way ahead and just budget for it, and it's great. And I would not be posting this video if I wasn't passionate about it and if I didn't love it. So yeah, again, use the link in my bio and then use my code UAJacqueline100. I'll put a little screen recording probably next, or like right here if I figure out how to do that. Because when you're booking on your phone, it can be a little tricky about when to, like, where to put the promo code. Booking on your laptop or desktop is a little easier because you'll see a promo code box, and that's where you put the UAJacqueline100. 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 Okay, so I think that's it for the questions that I can come up with. Of course, if you have more questions, feel free to reach out in my socials, which will be down below, and ask as many questions as you need. I will answer to the best of my abilities, and if I don't know the answer, I will find you the answer. I'm always willing to help anyone and meet new people that want to travel. So yeah, reach out. If you're still watching this video and you made it this far, know that I appreciate you. You're a real one. You're awesome. And I love you. And again, use my code UAJacqueline100. Link first, then code. Yeah. I hope you guys book trips, and I hope, even if you don't use my code, like, I do not care about that. Book the trip, travel, see all the places on your bucket list. Just do things that you never imagined possible, because that is what this company has allowed me to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys do everything that your heart desires. And yeah, bye friends.